Mercedes is in catch-up mode after producing less than desirable results in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Everyone on the team is in agreement that the W14 is just not good enough to be competitive against Red Bull, Ferrari, and even Aston Martin. Toto Wolff thinks that they need to completely change the car's concept in order to have a fighting chance. What direction will Mercedes take? All that and more to come, including Lewis Hamilton's exclusive lie detector test results, so don't go anywhere. Hamilton expressed his concern on Friday that his team was heading in the wrong direction, trailing behind their competitors, and doubted if Mercedes' approach would enable them to vie for an 8th world championship. The following day, team principal Toto Wolff surprisingly admitted that the Silver Arrows, which were once dominant in the sport, would need to discard their contentious zero sidepod concept if they wish to contend again. Toto said, "We are absolutely in the same choir. I don't think that this package is going to be competitive eventually. We gave it our best go over the winter, and now we all just need to regroup, sit down with the engineers, be totally non-dogmatic and ask what is the development direction we want to pursue in order to be able to win races. We hit our targets. That's why I say we gave it our best shot. But the moment comes when the stopwatch comes out, and that showed us that we are not good enough. At this team, we blame the problem, not the person. I have responsibilities. I need to fire myself if I want to do something. We got it wrong last year. We thought we could fix it by sticking to the concept of car, but it didn't work out. So we just need to switch our focus on what we believe is the right direction." Last season, Mercedes secured only one victory, and Hamilton expressed his eagerness to discard the underperforming machine. However, instead of starting anew, they chose to refine their approach, even though Red Bull, their rivals, achieved success by implementing an entirely different sidepod design, winning 17 out of 22 races in 2022. Verstappen's achievement of clinching his 21st career pole position on Saturday reinforces that his Red Bull car is the front runner in the Formula 1 circuit. "You know motor racing is crazy," Toto commented. "I don't know what is going to happen this year. We may find a silver bullet next week and gain 5/10, but I haven't seen any silver bullets before. If you look at the pecking order today, you would say that catching Red Bull is not realistic. But I'm looking at what we can find next week. What is the change of direction that we can implement, and how quickly can we do that? Maybe we can turn the ship around this year, but it needs a lot to change the pecking order." Wolff's comments are likely to deal a significant blow to Hamilton's aspirations of securing another championship title before he retires. Despite entering the last year of his €40 million a year contract, Hamilton has no intention of quitting, as he stated earlier this week that he would continue racing, even if Mercedes fails to provide him with a winning car. Wolff said, "If I need to push him around the track to get the 8th, I will. I'm going to do everything that's needed." Former Mercedes champion Nico Rosberg spoke about the possibility of the Silver Arrows switching up their concept, saying that doing so would be a step backwards considering the progress they've done. It sounds like they're in a difficult position, in a way maybe they didn't expect. They changed the regulations at the end of last year, lifting the floor up. It seems it was disadvantageous again and made it more difficult for them somehow. They are standing in front of a difficult decision. If you need to change the concept completely, it's another step backwards to then have a bigger potential gain in the medium term, because medium terms is years. It sounds really difficult. They were 4 or 5/10 off in qualifying, which isn't that much. They're still fighters and won't give up all hope. They are still the best team in the paddock in terms of competence. I know the people that are there. Toto has done brilliant with succession planning. I think in terms of competence, the team is awesome. They've been caught out with the new ground effects and new regulations and are still learning the ropes, and haven't quite understood it entirely. It takes a bit more time, I suppose. And following the qualifying session for the Bahrain Grand Prix, during which George Russell and Lewis Hamilton lagged over 6/10 behind Max Verstappen's pole position time, Wolff expressed skepticism about the car's performance. Former F1 driver David Coulthard says that changing the concept of the W14 is a big kick in the whatnots for their design team. Speaking to Channel 4, he said, "I think it was brutal. This car had only been alive for 6 days, a few days of testing, 3 days here. I don't know where he's coming from with that. But yeah, they've got a completely different strategy with the side pods. They clearly have to try and follow the pack now, but that is like a big kick in the whatnots for the design team. Coulthard also raised doubts about whether the Mercedes W14 is truly as poor as Wolff portrayed it to be. "I think it will have confirmed that relative to the winning car," he said. "Max won that at an absolute canter. Relative to being defined as the best of the rest, potentially they are. Okay, Leclerc didn't finish, but it's not as bad as he sort of stated after qualifying." Toto Wolff has admitted that the team's showing at the Bahrain Grand Prix was among the poorest they have ever witnessed and has urged for swift action to be taken. However, despite this setback, the team is persevering and diligently striving to pinpoint the underlying problems and devise a plan to regain their position at the forefront of the competition. The team remains optimistic that they can bounce back and contend with their opponents. Wolff has emphasized the significance of rectifying the aerodynamics of the W14, as the team is encountering challenges in the high-speed corners. The Austrian has commented on Aston Martin's AMR 23, acknowledging that they have executed a superior job than Mercedes despite utilizing the same gearbox, engine, rear suspension, and even wind tunnel. Consequently, Toto has shifted his attention to the front of the car and the zero sidepod sides. The technical team at Mercedes, spearheaded by Mike Elliott, is feeling the heat to identify the problem areas in the W14 project, prompting them to enlist the help of an old acquaintance, James Allison. Allison, who previously served as Mercedes' technical director and engineered some of the team's finest cars, now holds the position of CTO. With the pressure mounting behind the constructors' pit wall, Mercedes is exploring every avenue to recapture their dominance on the racetrack. Notwithstanding the obstacles, the team is hopeful that they can reverse their fortunes. Hamilton's impressive speed of 324.4 km per hour during qualifying and 333.4 km per hour in the race demonstrated that top speed is not a concern in comparison to the Red Bull and Ferrari vehicles. Mercedes' objective is to enhance downforce while decreasing drag, while also studying how Red Bull can effectively manage their tires. Nevertheless, achieving these goals is much simpler said than accomplished. In other Mercedes news, Lewis Hamilton underwent an intriguing lie detector test before the 2023 season opener at the Bahrain Grand Prix, where he affirmed his intention to stay in F1 until he secures an 8th World Championship title. During the test, Hamilton was presented with a series of questions by Sky Sports' Simon Lazenby, who probed him on his future plans in the sport. If Lewis Hamilton were to secure another driver's championship, he would exceed Michael Schumacher's record as the most successful driver in the history of the sport. However, following a forgettable weekend for Mercedes, with Hamilton finishing 5th, the outlook for this season appears unfavorable. In response to Simon Lazenby's question, Lewis Hamilton is seen taking a moment to contemplate before answering with a resounding yes, and the lie detector test confirms the response to be truthful. Hamilton also answered truthfully when asked if he had ever lied to his team boss Toto Wolff. However, he did tell a white lie when claiming he could defeat his teammate George Russell in an arm wrestling contest. So what do you think of Toto's plan to completely overhaul their car concept? Will it pay off in the future, or will it lead to more disappointment for the Silver Arrows? And what do you take out of Lewis Hamilton's lie detector test? Let's talk about it in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for more F1 updates.